Welcome to lesson 71 of Digital Marketing 3. And I thank you so much for availing yourself this morning. I know it always gets tricky for students to attend the Friday morning classes with this weather. I know that people get so tempted to sleep a little longer. So thank you so much for attending this virtual lesson. Yesterday, we had a look at pricing as an element of the marketing mix. And I introduced the topic. We discussed things such as price transparency, downward pressure on price, as well as the elasticity of price. So today we are going to look at the innovative pricing and alternative pricing structure or policies. And the outcomes for this lesson is that at the end of this session, we should be able to identify innovative pricing and be able to unpack alternative pricing structures. So these are the terms that we are going to be discussing, or that you are going to come across as this lesson progresses. You come across the concept of forward auctions, reverse auctions, dynamic pricing, an offer, and a bid. Are you more familiar with these words, or this is your first time to hear these words?
The first two terms are definitely foreign.
Okay,
Same here.
all right. Are used in the real estate, the property market where people buy houses or sell houses, or even in the motor market where people buy cars, second-hand cars and stuff like that. So how do they come to the point of pricing when you are selling a house? Because we do not only look at pricing to mere products like groceries. Like groceries, as we were doing yesterday, the pricing elements can also identify and analyze big assets such as properties, such as warehouses and stuff like that. Good morning, Lesedi. Anyway, I hope you can hear me because I can't hear you. So yeah, you would see that I was given an offer or I did a bid and stuff like that. Even in betting, I think you come across these terms, but I'm going to unpack these terms as the lesson progresses. But before we do that, let's have a little exercise. In your opinion, what are the new innovative pricing approaches used by e-commerce sites in South Africa?
So, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I can see it on my side. Otherwise, let me reshare. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I also use my phone to just make sure that I can see the screen. So I'm seeing it on my phone, but I'm presenting using a laptop. Good morning, Lesedi.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you guys have got sweet voices in the morning, eh? But in the afternoon or as the day progresses, yo. All right. So as I was asking, we've just started in when they said we are doing lesson 671, and welcome to the lesson, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so guys, in your opinion, what are the new innovative pricing approaches used by e-commerce sites in South Africa?
Does allowing customers to pay in installments count as a pricing approach, or is that something different?
Yeah, that works. That actually works in South Africa. As I have come across many e-commerce sites, you now have, is it called a payflex, where you can pay, you can split your price in installments.
Yes, you split it into 3 payments.
Yes, but in some cases there's actually no interest. I
Definitely.
think Converse or Star Online, they also do that. Trying to accommodate broke people like Ntati.
So it counts as a pricing approach.
It comes as?
Does it count as a pricing approach?
Yes, it does, especially if you are a company and you know that the items that you get, people will never afford them, but they can afford those items over a period of time. Then that does work, because here it's not buying on credit. It's not the same as a bank that finances a product, then you're paying an interest.
Okay.
Good morning, Lebo.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, are you well?
Yes, sir.
Did you brush your teeth yet?
No.
You guys are attending my classes, and most of you guys are smelling blankets. You didn't even dare to shower and you're still in bed. Yo.
Sir, are you sharing the screen?
Yeah, I am.
Or I can't see you, sir.
Let me stop sharing and share again.
All right.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Welcome to the class level. We've just started and we've discussed the first question. Now I'd like to ask you, what is the relevance of alternative pricing structure in digital marketing?
Yes, sir. I don't know.
Okay, others, let's hear from others. Okay, we are going to uncover that as we move forward. So, innovative pricing approaches. The digital space has proved to have the technological capacity to create new pricing options, and there are different pricing mechanisms which have been used effectively online. So think about e-commerce sites that says, if you've got items for above 500 rands in your shopping cart, the shipping is going to be free. Have you guys come across that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's one of the pricing models that many South African e-commerce sites are using. So while many of pricing options were available before the advent of the internet and are not new, the internet has made some models easier to apply. In particular, the volume of users makes traditional or off forward auction. So here I'm talking about B2C models and reverse auctions, which is normally done by business to business, more tenable. These have become more widely used than previously. So an offer is a commitment for a trader to sell under certain conditions, such as a bid is made by a trader to buy under the conditions of the bid, such as a commitment to purchase at a particular price. I'm sure you guys, if you go to auctions, you can hear things about an offer and a bid. And as much as people always shy away from the notion of lobola, I feel like in terms of amalobolo, there is also an involvement of an offer and a bid. Yes, Ntati, let's hear you.
So did you stop sharing the screen again, or?
I wonder what's happening this morning. I can see the screen. Who else is not seeing the screen?
Me too.
Lebo and Lesedi?
I can see the screen on my side, sir.
Yeah, I also have it. As I said, guys, I'm using devices and it can show on the other device. Let me stop sharing and let me share again. Can you see it now, guys? Those who said
Yes.
are not seeing the screen, can you see it now?
No.
I
No.
can see it.
Makosazana?
No. I
Oh.
can't.
What are you using, Makosazana, a phone or laptop?
My phone.
I'm also using a phone and I can see it. Let me try to
But I was
reshare it
able
again.
to see it. Then
You are able to see
suddenly
it
I
now?
can't see it. Mm.
Ntati, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I was saying that in the cultural practice of amalobolo, we also get a bid and an offer, whereby the parents will be like, my daughter, I'm going to charge you 10 cows. That's the minimum lowest offer that they can give you. Then you start deliberating on that, whether you can afford it or not. Then you start negotiating and stuff like that. So innovative pricing comes in many ways where there's no standard price. You know, for example, with cooking oil, we can know that there is a range that cooking oil needs to cost this much. But in assets like properties, like cars, it then becomes different because the value of a property is determined by the location, you know, the age of that property and so forth. So it's difficult to come up with a standard price in assets. So as with amalobolo, of course, I don't know here in South Africa, is there a certain price for amalobolo that you can say this is the minimum amount? Okay, before you guys answer that, let's hear the level. You have your hand up.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask, like in terms of buying a car, ne? So let's say you wanna buy like a second-hand car, right? Not new from the shop. So you know we buy cars, that company.
Can you come again? I didn't hear you on the last part.
Do you know the company that's called We Buy Cars? The one that sells
We buy
second-hand cars.
cars. Yes, I think I know it.
So, say, is it like safe to buy a car there or at an auction?
I don't know their pricing models, but in most cases, cars that are being sold at an auction are always much cheaper because the banks would just be trying to recover the money that you owe them. And in some cases, you would have paid all the monies and maybe you are just struggling to raise 20,000. So a bank can sell a car, for that money that they want to raise that you did not uh, manage to pay. Then with resale dealerships like we buy cars, I actually don't know how their pricing model works, but to some extent, I think they're making huge profits because they could be getting those cars at auctions and then sell them at retail value.
Yeah, so, and most of the time, like the cars are not 100% okay. So, because this
Mm.
other time, this one guy bought a car there at We Buy Cars, and then like it was only working for like 2 weeks, and then after the engine was dead, all those kind of things. And when he went there to say that I wanna exchange or I actually wanna get my money back, they were like, no, we have read the contract and you tested the car the first day, so you can't get a refund or an exchange.
Yeah, as for me, normally it's not even a matter of pride, but I always shy away from second-hand stuff. Not because I do not like second-hand stuff, but I always try by all means to avoid those legal ramifications, especially if I know that I don't have certain knowledge in that specialty. For example, I'm not a mechanic. So if I were to go and buy a second-hand car, how am I going to know that this car is going to last me? Or if there's no part that is going to break down in a few weeks, then it becomes difficult to get a refund or to get an exchange or even to get a service. So I'd prefer getting something straight from the shop that is completely new.
Okay, so
Yeah. Then I was asking you guys about how you do lobola across South African cultures or languages or ethnic groups. Is there a certain bridal price in South Africa?
I don't think so, sir. I just think it depends on the family and what they agree on.
Okay. So there's no minimum amount, there's no maximum amount. Even if you are both Sotos or you are both Zulus or you are both Pedis and so forth. Let's do something innovative. Mtati,
Yes, sir.
yes, knowing your background and your culture and everything, how much do you think you are going to cost in terms of lobola?
So I don't even know the criteria for that, and I've never really been told how much someone's lobola was in the
But
family.
your sisters and your cousins or anyone in your family, didn't they?
Well, they did receive it, but no one ever talks about how much money it actually was. So I
Okay.
can't estimate or make an estimate.
Okay. Makosazana Dlamini Zuma. How much do you think Lebo can pay for you?
So my what?
Your lobola, how much do you think are you worth in terms of lobola? Looking at your family and every setup that you live in.
Yeah, I don't know. Say I don't even want to guess.
Yo, guys. Ah, okay. Let's hear the talkative one. Tell us.
I don't know, sir.
Wow, that's very interesting, because I know that once you get a partner or once you decide to choose that route, he's going to try to snoop from you so that he gets some rough idea how much they are going to charge him. And you guys already, you do not know. So,
I think like in Tati, because we've never been told in the family, or like it's never been a thing where the family discusses how much someone got from Amalobolo.
okay, Lebo, you've got your mic on. You wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to ask that since they don't know how much they cost, that means we can take them for free.
How is that, ladies?
Or on loan, say.
On loan.
Yes,
Let's hear them. I
we'll
know
pay
they said
money.
want to say something.
So it's either you pay the full amount or you don't pay anything at all.
Maybe, this can be debated. Let's say they're saying something.
No, sir.
Okay. This can be debated. What if that's the reason why there are so many fat and sick men not paying damages and lobolas? Because women actually don't know their value in terms of lobola.
Exact.
But it's discussed by the uncles, it's discussed by the aunts and the parents. So that can't be an excuse.
Yeah, but you as a woman, you have to play a role in that. For example, when I was going to pay lobola, I had to snoop around, and my wife did not know anything, but she had to go through her sister who asked their auntie and stuff like that. So maybe it's something that you guys need to start thinking about. Or maybe you are also not part of that, because nowadays societies are dynamic, people are modernizing, and I've heard several women who say that they do not want any lobola for them, saying that as long as you're in a relationship with someone, you can go to home affairs, get married, you start your family, because lobola can actually drain your finances. All of a sudden, you're in poverty, stuff like that. So perhaps you guys also believe along those lines.
Nope.
That why you saying nope?
But no, I'm very spiritual in nature, so I understand why lobola is important.
So you don't understand that why, considering the economy and everything, that lobola can be put aside.
So a plan can be made, and if you know what your priorities are, then you will make sure that you meet them at the end of the day.
Did you watch news last night or a couple of days ago that youth unemployment has increased?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yes. So where is your man going to get money for lobolo when almost, the majority of your peers do not have jobs?
I guess an arrangement can be made either way, but lobola has to be paid. Even if you pay 10% every 6 months, it's fine as long as you complete it at one point.
Oh, so you mean it's the effort that matters? That matter. It doesn't matter whether you've got R1 billion or you've got R10.
Yes.
Okay, let's say, do you want to say something?
Then if that's the case and they don't want to pay lobola, they shouldn't expect things that married people do finish.
Oh, wow.
Ganja. I see.
Hey, what are you saying, Level?
Say, I'm disagreeing with what she said.
How
Why you
so?
disagree?
Say, she doesn't know the price.
But even though I have an idea or whatever, it's still dependent on the family, what the husband's family and my family agree on.
But it is your
Man,
family. You need to know how your family normally charge in terms of the background and those who are paid for and stuff like that.
I know, so
They
I'm
say
just saying, like now, out of all the weddings, like we've never been like, I think at a certain age, the conversations will come up.
Okay.
But with the cousins that I have, when they get married, they don't really tell us how much the bride price was.
Or maybe it's because they know that you are single. You wouldn't be knowing that now. But if you introduce a boyfriend, they can have conversations like that.
The only man that my family is going to meet is my husband. No boyfriends.
You.
You. I understand
Tosi,
you,
I have a
Besedi.
question
I've
for you.
heard that several times. Lebo, you're saying something?
I have a question for Lise.
Okay,
Yes.
ask her.
So she said that if you don't pay lobola, we can't do things that married people do. So I wanna know what things.
I'm just saying you can't expect me to visit you for weeks and weeks, and then I must wash, I must constantly cook, no. I'll do that,
Oh.
yes, out of the kindness of my heart sometimes. So I'm just saying, don't expect it to be a pattern.
Oh, okay. So chores. The
Eh,
chores, fella. Oh, tetering.
I don't know, there are a lot of things I can't think at the top of my head, Lebo. It's too early in the morning.
Lebo just wanted to ask whether he's going to get cigarette cake, I guess.
I was straight to the point.
Cigarette cake, people get it even in high school. That one is not determined by Amalobolo. Anyway,
Yes, true.
pardon?
I'm just saying I hear you, sir.
Yeah, I think Amalobolo now comes in terms of ownership, that you can sort of own someone, but not
Oh,
in but not in a sense of the way we own goods and stuff like that. Like belonging to someone, because at the end of the day, you've got a backup from family. So somehow, if you own them. If you do something, you go to her family and say that, look at what your daughter is doing. But when it's a boyfriend, you can't do that. So it doesn't own you. You can do whatever you want. I don't know if you get the sense of what I'm trying to say.
I hear you, sir.
Though, yes, there's no human being that owns another human being. That's illegal. Okay. So that's how interesting it becomes when pricing involves human beings. We've had families coming up with damages. Why do you have to pay damages, for example? And all these things happen in African cultures. I've never heard in other cultures like Asian cultures and so forth. Like, why do I have to pay damages if we enjoy it together? If we're involved in that process of baby making. So these are the things that you need to understand, the innovative ways of pricing within cultures when it comes to family setups, marriages, and relationships. Anyway, the setting of shipping fees can have a dramatic effect on both conversion and profitability. It can be noted that there is a popularity of free shipping offers when the basket size is above a certain amount. However, this can potentially cause profitability to fall if it is not set at the right level. I think you come across these guys when you are buying something online. So this is the alternative pricing mechanism. I think you have this in your textbook, where at the top you have got a pricing option. Then you think you come up with options whether you want that pricing to be fixed. So fixed prices are always high because they are not determined by the economy in terms of increasing rates or decreasing interest rates. So you realize that with fixed pricing, they set them very high. Whether things are happening well in the economy or not, you still have to pay that amount. So it is set by the seller and it can also be set by the buyer. This is very tricky, especially when the economy starts performing well. It means that you are going to continue to pay that fixed amount, Then the variable one, which some call it linked. This is a price that is set based on the economic conditions and other variables affecting a certain territory. So it normally comes in single transactions or multiple transactions. So buyer sets and seller sets. So if it's multiple transactions, for example, you can get stuff at a discounted value. Think when you are buying a can of drink, if you are buying one, a price is set at a specific amount. But if you are buying a 6-pack, it gets cheaper compared to the way you would have bought a 1. So if a can is 9 rand, for example, you buy one, you are buying it for 9 rand. But if you buy it for 6, when you do 9 times 6, it becomes less to an extent that you can get a 6-pack of cane for 50 rand. Have you come across that, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's how the pricing options work. And we have to be very careful as an organization, because at the end of the day, you might end up not making profits, or you might end up having stuff in your warehouse that are not being sold because your pricing mechanism is not compatible with customer expectations. Then what are the alternative pricing models? Software and music have traditionally been sold for a continuous right to use. And different types of pricing may be possible on the internet, particularly for digital downloadable products. So you realize that as long as you continue to use music, to listen to music, you have to continue paying for it. It has also happened with softwares like Need for Speed and all those applications that you guys use in your phones, like the photo editing applications and stuff like that. So as explained yesterday, the internet offers new options such as payment per use, rental at a fixed cost per month, a lease arrangement, and bundling with other products. Therefore, the use of application service providers to deliver services such as website traffic monitoring also gives new methods of volume pricing. Think about when you are using an online library to read books. They will loan you that book for specific hours online. Then you have to pay a specific amount. But it becomes very tricky here in South Africa, where there's load shedding and where the internet is not so reliable. So you are supposed to read a book for an hour and you paid let's say 30 rands. All of a sudden there's load shedding, your battery is off, or all of a sudden the signal is now poor to an extent that out of that 1 hour that you've loaned out, you only end up reading that book only for 15 minutes. So these are the things that brands need to consider when having their alternative pricing policies. So the pricing options online, they include the following. So you can have a basic price, you can have discounts, you can have add-ons and extra products and services, you can have guarantees or warranties, you can have refund policies, you can have exchange policies, you can also have cancellation terms. So these are the things that you can work with. My advice to my friend Lebo on Lobola, you can also always use this model, if you want to be clever with your uncles, because they get a briefing from you. You are the one who is going to pay. So you need to understand the basic price, and in most cases with Lobola, I don't know if in other cultures, but with Ndebele, because I've got a Ndebele wife, with Ndebele, you can always negotiate from that basic price. So families are also clever. They can give you a very cheap basic price, which comes in form of cows. Then other additions like inkomo kamama, they are non-negotiable. So you need to make sure that on that basic price, you negotiate to the extent that it can become half a price.
Yeah, I have a question. What's a basic price?
A basic price, it is the amount that you set without any extras, without any discounts, as it is. Like if it was to happen now, this is the amount that you can pay. But if you don't have that amount at hand, then interest is added to that basic price. They'll be like, okay, you can pay in 2 years, but you are going to have an interest. So an interest is going to be added to that basic price. Or they can be like, oh, we sent our child to Boston. Now she's got a diploma. So if she wasn't educated, we're going to give you this amount. But the fact that she's educated, now we are going to add 2 cows on top. Or we know that our child is very fertile. She's going to give you as many babies as possible. Then this is the amount. So all those amounts, they become top-ups from the basic price that they set.
Oh, okay.
I know I won't touch it. They are taking notes so that they can also up their price. But it becomes tricky if the woman is not on your side, because the woman is the one who knows your pocket and is the one who have to be fighting for you, not turning with her family fighting against you. She's the one who have to be negotiating the discount for you on your behalf. Would you do that, Lesedi?
Maybe, who knows?
Okay. So yeah, you'd realize that some of the companies might not have the discounts at all, whether you're shopping in the morning, in the winter, or Black Friday, or Easter, they always have the basic price. Some, they do not have refund policies. Touch is a move. Once the order has been released, they do not take anything back, even if that order had deformities. But the challenge now is that once you have got things that are not favorable to the customer, chances are that there's not going to be any customer retention there. Customers won't come back to buy for more. So you have to come up with alternative pricing policies that enables or enhances the relationship that would form with customers. Remember, in order to exist as an organization, you need to have a better relationship with your customers. Your customers have to be your brand advocate. You need to have that brand identity that resonates with customers. But if your pricing drives away customers, chances are that you end up in the arms of your competitors. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys. Are there any questions so far?
No questions, sir.
So that's it
No,
about
sir.
lesson 71. And this lesson should have helped you to develop a greater awareness of digital marketing by identifying innovative pricing and alternative pricing structure or policies. You should now be able to apply the elements of the marketing mix, especially pricing, in an online context and evaluate the opportunities that the internet, digital media, and technology make available for varying the marketing mix. Are there any further discussions, any questions, any comments, additions or subtractions? If there's none, then I'm going to ask you guys. When it comes to pricing and informal traders, the people that you buy for informal, do you guys ever negotiate the price or you just fork out the money just like that?
I tried to negotiate the price.
Like on the streets in Soweto, you want to buy a watch or you want to buy some bracelets and they say it's 60 rand and you have got 50 rand or you have 60 rand, but you feel like it's being overpriced. Do you say, I've got 10 rand, putty and this and that?
Yes.
Okay. Makosazana, the shy one, do you ever negotiate or just fork out the amount?
I didn't hear you properly. You said, do I ever negotiate? And
Do you ever negotiate or you just take the money out of your pocket and buy whatever you are buying on the streets?
I negotiate. I negotiated a pod yesterday.
Okay. Lebo, do you negotiate? And 30.
I don't negotiate at all.
Okay, Lebo.
Yeah, I do negotiate.
All right. So those who negotiate, is it because you are broke or you just feel like you need to sharpen your negotiation skills?
Okay, sometimes the prices are not fixed. Like them as the seller, they don't have like the fixed price. And then like you would come and then they would try to trick you. Be like, nah, it's 70 rand. And then sometimes it's like that basic price and then you negotiate. Not because you don't have money, but you see it like it's probably overpriced.
I get what you're saying because, there are street vendors who look at you, see what you have, and they charge you based on what they are seeing, not the fixed price that they have. So, for example, if the basic price for my tomatoes are 10 rand for 4, right? And then I see in Tati, she's wearing a Nike original, she's got an iPhone, I'll be like, no, this one, she's got more money. It can't be 10 rand for 4 tomatoes. Then I say tomatoes are for 25 rand. All of a sudden, Tati is buying those tomatoes for 25 rand, and I've actually made a double sale for one thing. Then when I look at Leseda, I'll be like, she has had her hairstyle 25 years ago. She's wearing torn shoes. This one, let me charge her 10 for 4.
And also, sir, it depends with the location because I feel like it could be the same product, but maybe in Soweto you would get it for maybe this much, and then here in Santon we get it for maybe much more. What you pay at Soweto. So I think it also goes with like the location of the product.
Yes.
With
That's why we
informal,
don't have the same price for quotas in different locations,
yes, sir.
but they use the same ingredients. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, guys, let's meet in our next class, the last class for this week. So we are going to do the application on product and pricing. So we spoke about product on Tuesday and yesterday, and we also spoke about pricing. So we have got the 2 P's of the 7 P's. Let's quickly do a study analysis before we call it a day for the weekend. Okay.